Inner Fight Endurance Q&A 28. We're back in the game, as always.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Right, you know about Naked Running Band. You've seen the code. Go and get one.
Yep.
Last week, I did a real disservice to Ultra X. It is not a 50k Ultra in UAE. It is, in fact, multi-day stage ultras all over the world. And the one, actually, our very own Marcus is going to be doing is in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. And it's actually not costing a fortune. And
which is nice.
The code, which you see along the bottom, gets you a further 200 Great British pounds off.
English pounds. Excellent. All right.
Excellent stuff.
That's a chunk of change, actually.
Maths man, what's that in dirhams?
1,000.
There you go. 1,000 dirhams off. Right. Straight to questions. First one this week from @just_fab. What is your thoughts on Normatec recovery systems? Flanners, I know your answer's pretty short on this one.
Yep, it is. No. Look, I think like a lot of these things, the physiological benefits are fairly unproven, I think. I think there are better ways to recover, massage, foam rolling, etc., etc. But I think if you feel like it makes you recover better and faster, go for it.
Yeah, I think as long as all your other basic bases are in place, then this is a real nice cherry on top.
Yeah.
I've used them a few times and they feel good. They feel
like
good.
Compression tights, like a lot of things.
So yeah, as long as your other bases are covered, nutrition, recovery work, foam rolling, stretching. Main one is nutrition though, isn't it? And then getting time off the feet.
Yep.
Then add in Normatec.
Yeah. Rest, sleep, etc.
Sweet. Next one @Dwayne Mac. Dwayne Mac? Dwayne Mac.
Is this Dwayne?
Dwayne. I don't know. What tools do I need to train on my bike effectively, e.g. speed and cadence sensor? What else? Power. In terms of power, what good power meters, Quark or SRM, are gold standard.
Yep.
Handy ones to have, Garmin Vector pedals.
Yep.
Possibly PowerTap pedals, although if you plan on using them outside and over a month, they're pretty rubbish. And my dissertation was on that, so I can say that.
yeah, you're reasonably qualified to make that statement, right?
But really, power is the big one. Yes, you need speed, and certainly cadence. If you get a power meter, you're going to have cadence with it anyway.
Yep.
But power is number one.
Power is absolutely it.
There we go. That's an easy answer.
Yep.
Right, we've now got some answers that might take a little longer, which is why I've rushed through the first part. First question from @Tama_Adele1, also known as Uncle T.
Legend.
T-Ledge. Tammy. That's a new one. Tama asks, process of tapering before race day.
So, I'll take this one. I'll lead with this one.
Well, you coach him, mate.
Yeah, no, I do. and maybe we'll talk about this one day. But so tapering is the process of a reduction in training volume ahead of a race to allow you to hit the start line fresh and like a caged tiger raring to go. And it differs from athlete to athlete depending on the event that you're doing. So if it was an Ironman, for example, the taper would likely be longer. Usually for a 70.3, the taper is about 7 days. And all we're trying to do is to keep you sharp, but so that you don't lose fitness, but that your body is fresh, rested, and ready to absolutely empty the tank on race day. So typically you would the week would just decline in volume but keep intensity at sort of race pace or slightly above so that you stay sharp but you're not tired by any of the sessions that you do. And that's really it. It's not super complex.
It sounds the most basic part of any program, but it's absolutely one of the hardest to program for, because mentally you feel so good. Some people actually feel really bad. I feel awful at the start of the taper.
And that's really common.
And that is common. Some people feel really good and go too hard in their taper week.
Yeah.
So getting your head around the mental state of the taper is difficult. And like Tam is part of a really good community that's going to help him out.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for him. He's he is a very positive person anyway. But some people, and actually it's the ones who you think maybe haven't done all the training correctly.
Yeah.
Get that panic in the taper.
Last week syndrome,
And it can be really tough.
I think a couple of things to look out for would be sort of phantom injuries that occur,
Oh yeah.
which is really
Things
common
will
again,
hurt,
right? Yeah, you'll find little niggles and little bits and bobs that haven't been bothering you for ages and ages, and start panicking.
Yeah.
And also sometimes, as I say, and I'm the same. Like I always feel terrible my first day or two of taper, and I don't know whether it's just like a mental shutting down thing. The minute you see the word taper that pops up in your training peaks, you're like, yes, I'm done. And then you feel terrible for 2 or 3 days afterwards. And if that happens, don't panic. It's really normal.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And the other thing I would say on taper weeks is do not increase by a large amount your food.
Yeah.
Because that is where your training slowed down and your nutrition should stay the same, and that will be the super compensation effect that you need anyway.
Yeah, so we covered this a few weeks back with Matt Fortune in his marathon, and it's like, as you say, the reduction in training volume will allow you to store more glycogen than you would normally anyway.
Good, I hope
Excellent.
that helps, Tama. At Ashley_Pops, one of our Project DXB runners.
Yep.
Absolutely killing it.
Yep, yes she
is.
is.
Dubai as well.
Yeah.
How do you know when the right time to pull the pin is? Pain versus being soft. I had to rephrase that for us to be able to say it on the Q&A. AP was coming out with a few other choice words.
A few Marcus Smith isms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's an absolutely brilliant question.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a toughie to answer. Like, knowing Ashley and having coached it, she has absolutely no problem with pulling the pin, and it's more of a case of holding her back, as you know, Ashley, than pushing you on. But it's a really good question, because pain is all in the head, right? It's completely mental. So I like to define it between, does it hurt or are you just in discomfort?
Yeah.
Like, yesterday we had track testing, Tuesday, and like the 400 and the 1 and the 3, they hurt, but I'm not in pain, but I'm in discomfort.
Yeah.
Like, it's really tough.
And I mean, the question would, there's good pain and bad pain, right? I mean, there's sort of muscular pain which is accumulated from a heavy week. Obviously we just had a big camp at the weekend, and then no messing around, straight into testing at the track on Tuesday. And you would expect people to feel a little bit of muscular fatigue.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but if your knee's crunching when you walk, or your ankle feels like it's about to drop off, that's a different thing. So I think you've got to assess whether it's a good pain or a bad pain to start with. And obviously if it's bad, stop.
Yeah. The other way I like to say to people is, if it's a pain that's changing your gait as you're running, or making you bike or swim in a different biomechanical way, then that is a pain, and it needs to be, you need to stop and either stretch it, sort it out, or just stop and get out of the pool.
Because otherwise you're going to end up with like compensation injuries, which can sometimes be worse than the original thing.
Yeah, repetitive strain injuries.
Yeah.
Your shin splints, your things like that need time to recover from. You'll just constantly be within them.
Yeah, you just start moving.
AP,
if you just start moving differently than you normally do, and like for a 2-hour run or something, you're going to end up crippled.
Worst time you've pushed through a thing and got an injury?
Well, I walked a half marathon with a broken foot recently, which was a bit of a problem.
Yeah, but again, that's a time of needing to pull the pin and get through it.
But and so the pain that I had meant that I walked a little bit heavily on my left foot, and my left foot was in agony for about a week afterwards. And that's a walk, so imagine how that would be if that was a run. Yeah.
I've broken my foot while out running, thought it was cramped, carried on running for half an hour, and completely shattered the metatarsal.
As you do. Okay.
Should have definitely stopped.
Yeah.
But hadn't learned at the time. So it's definitely an experience thing.
Yep.
If you're naturally stubborn in your head, it's one of the hardest things to get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can learn it. You just got to deal with the injuries when it comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
It's a fine line, very fine line.
It is. Mate, any other news? 25 seconds.
For our guys, we've got a couple of extremely excitement announcements coming soon.
We do.
Today or tomorrow. Well, no, Wednesday or Thursday, because this comes out on Friday.
Keep an eye on the
Facebook page. It's coming.
Good. That's it, guys. Please send in your questions for next week. They're coming in thick and fast, so it's really, really good.
Brilliant.
And we'll catch you then.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks, guys.